We're pruning blueberries today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, here we are now, second week in January. It's turned very, very cold. We've had it very wet and now it's cold, which is good because it's helping the garden to dry out a little bit, but still too wet to do anything really on the land. It's still a bit wet and squodgy. So I'm going to do some pruning, and today I'm going to be pruning the blueberries. Now, we haven't got acid soil and we've never had acid soil where we live, which is what blueberries need. So the way we've always grown them is in containers, and they do really well in containers. These are quite big plants and we had a really good crop off them last summer, and they're in pots of ericaceous compost. So each year they're fed, they're well watered, and we get a good crop. So these are quite old bushes. I would think some of these are getting on now for probably 10, 12 years old in the same pot. They don't need an awful lot of pruning, to be fair. Certainly for the first 2 or 3 years after planting them in a container, they need very little. But as they get older, we do a little bit of thinning out, removing some of the old wood. So there's two here, but the one we're going to prune is this one that I've just lifted onto the corner of the raised bed, because this one, a different variety, they're all different, but it just looks a little bit congested. As you look at it, it's very twiggy in the centre here. There's some dead wood in there as well. So this one is in need of a prune more than the others. So what do you do? Well, as you can see, it's a nice big bushy plant. We've got some nice new growth at the tips here, and if we look at the stems, we can see that, you know, the bigger buds here on the tips of these stems, these are going to be our blossom in the summer and the fruit for next summer as well. So we've got lots of potential on there, but it just needs a little bit of care. So first thing you would always do is take out any dead. So for example, the end of this stem here, I can see that it's gone brown there, so we can prune any little bits out like that. So it's a case of going round and snipping out the dead, and there are quite a few bits on this one. So I'm just going to work my way around. This piece here, for example, I'm just going to chuck them on there. We can see that this piece here has died back completely, so we can prune that out. So it's a case of working the way round, taking any off like that, and just going around and tidying it all up to start with. Once we've done that, and I've taken quite a few pieces out, we can then have a look at it and think, this is quite congested in the centre, and with any fruit bush, whether it's a blueberry or a gooseberry or a blackcurrant, we want the open centre so we get air circulation. And I can see that we've got an old branch in the centre, and with blueberries it's good to replace some of that old growth to encourage new growth. And there's a good example. We've got a nice new stem growing here, we've got a nice one growing at the back, but we've got some old woody growth around it. So I'm actually going to take out this piece here, and that will give us a little bit of room for that stem to develop, and it opens it up by getting rid of some of this weak growth. And then likewise in here, again, I'm going to take it off in sections. You can always take a bit more off, but you can't put it back on. So I'm going to take that piece out there, and then this piece here is going straight up the centre. I'm going to prune that off there. So that will encourage some nice new growth to develop from lower down. So now we've taken that off, we can again work our way around it, just doing a bit of dead snipping. Again, that piece I'm going to take off. And it really is quite a simple job. So it is taking a piece off, looking back, taking a little bit more off. Don't go too mad, because if you cut it hard back, all that will do is encourage masses and masses of new growth, but you won't get any fruit next year. I'm going to take the top out just to stop it getting any bigger at the top, and work our way around here. Any really long ones we can shorten. I'm just going to take that piece out again just so it opens up that top piece. Shorten this piece back to encourage it to bush out. And then again, it's a bit congested around here, so I'm just going to prune 1 or 2 little pieces off, shorten that, and that will bush out a little bit. Again, there's some little dead twiggy bits. It does happen with some varieties, so if you get all these twiggy bits, just keep taking them back to where the wood is alive, or where there's a side shoot. So this one has got a very twiggy habit. They do vary from variety to variety. There's a big piece of dead that I've missed there, so let's get that out. Okay, so to me already, just by spending a few minutes on this, it's already starting to open up a little bit. We're getting a better shape by taking some of these straggly ones off. I've still got a good balance there of fruit buds and what will be new growth buds to fill in. And I'm still undecided about that one. I'm going to take this one out completely here now, because there is one stem off it, but I'm quite congested at the back here. So I'm going to take this piece out completely down at the bottom and take that out like that. So that's got rid of the crossing branches here. I'm going to take that one out, which is rubbing on this one. I don't know if you can get round here, Jill, but if you can get round here, or I twist that round, we can see here that this stem has been rubbing there and it's caused a little wound. So we need to get rid of that one completely so it prevents that happening again, like that. So I think we are more or less there with it now, like that. Yep, that's thinned it out. We can see we've got a reasonable amount of prunings that we've taken out, but we've still got that good balance in there of new wood, some older wood. I don't like that piece sticking up there, so we can get rid of that as well. You can carry on and on doing this and you finish up with no blueberry bush at all, but I'm going to stop now because I think I've taken probably enough off that one. So that is it. And now you can do that, of course, any time that your blueberries are dormant. So we're looking from the end of November when the leaves have fallen off to about early March time. So, you know, this is right bang in the middle of it. So it's the dormant period when there's no leaves on there. What we will do with this then in the spring, there's no point doing it now, is we will top dress this. We'll take off all this moss that grew last summer, scrape that off, take off 1 inch or 2 of compost, bit of fertiliser, top it up with some new ericaceous compost, and that will be good to go now for another few years. So I've done one, got 2 more to go, and then we can look forward to delicious blueberries next August time. Thank you for watching, and remember, all the videos that we've done you can find on YouTube, and don't forget our new podcast you can get from your normal provider.
I mean, when I was writing it, Arthur was still in it, so that's quite a long time ago.
Next week we'll be back out in the garden, hopefully a little bit warmer, doing some more jobs, so we'll see you then. Bye.